start recording. So welcome to the first call in February. It is Team Cup month. Most of us are on Team Cups, not all of us. That's okay. But I will kind of talk a little bit about Team Cup. And if you didn't participate this time, or if you're not on a team yet, they did actually extend you to be able to get on a team today. But you'll definitely want to do that in the future. It's a time where you can really collaborate with other people and push forward and just kind of have some fun. Hi, Bree. I love your hair color. So pretty. I haven't seen it like straight like that in a while. I love it. Okay, so I basically tonight, the team call is kind of exciting because it's all based on like clearing overwhelm and clutter in your mind. Because if you're anything like me, hi Carissa. If you're anything like me, what happened was you got really motivated for January. Or you're just starting and you're really motivated and you're really excited. And January comes or this week of starting as a coach comes in or whatever it is, and you're really excited, but then the amount of information and the amount of things that seem to pile up on this to-do list, even though you're excited, at first it's like, okay, I've got this, I can handle this. And then as it starts to pile up, it gets a little overwhelming. And if you're anything like me, it starts feeling like, for instance, okay, I have a Team Cup group, I have a Team Cup thread, we're in the Team Cup battle, we're in the Ignite Your business, okay, I have team calls, like it starts feeling so scattered. And I'm going to tell you that after being in this business for 6.5 years, that it doesn't change. The only thing that changes is your organization of it. You have to be the person and decide to be the person to be clear about what it is. I have a lot of coaches in the beginning, and this is normal and it's expected, that'll be like, oh my gosh, there's so many groups, I just can't even keep them straight. And I laugh because I was the same way, and we all start that way. But at some point in your business, the only way you're going to keep things straight is if you take pen to paper intentionally and say, okay, this month, and this is what we're doing tonight on the call, just getting really clear on what's important. But like, okay, this month, I am focusing on, finishing up the Ignite Your Business Bootcamp. I'm also in the Team Cup battle, and this is what I said my goal was. I want to check into my bar group that I'm in or whatever group you're in, and then this is the team page that I'm going to continue to look at. A lot of you are in my downline, like down, 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 and your uplines are wonderful, and they like to make sure that you are exposed to any and every coach that you could learn from. The downfall of that is that you are in their team page and their coach's team page and their coach's team page and then my team page. And all of the pages are like, what am I even doing here? Like, this feels too much, and it makes us want to shut down. So I want to tell you that your page, that's the most important to you, I want to tell you is the Goal Getters, because that's the page that I run, right, for the team, and that I'm in every week and that I'm posting in and whatever. But it's not necessarily for everyone. It is for me, but your most important team page is your coaches, where the value is. And if your coach for some reason doesn't work the business like you, and maybe they're just kind of more hobby, but you're a go-getter, and that next level up is the team page you need to pay attention to, then that's the team page you need to pay attention to. But make sure you're streamlining that right now. And then, what challenge group are you in? Please don't tell me that you're in a bar group and a follow through on you, or a challenge group, plus you're going to go run a free group. Let me or someone else who has this as their full-time job take running those groups on for you, but focus on what you're doing. You are going to be most successful if you're doing bar, inviting to bar with the excitement and the love that you're having about it. Because when you invite to bar and you're talking about all that, you're still going to attract people that need something other than bar. And through your consultation, you're going to find out that they need something other than bar, and you can simply plug them in and cheer them on in a community that's already there, that you don't have to pour into, but you just want to pour into the places that you need to be. So the most important, your team page, or that main one that's supporting you, whatever challenge group that you are in, I want you this month to think, if I'm telling people that this is the type of support that they're getting in my challenge group, even if I hate challenge groups, because I know there's some coaches in here that hate challenge groups, that have just never loved them because they're just not the type of person that needs that type of accountability. And I'm going to be the very first person to tell you that I almost forget to post in my challenge group every day because I'm kind of one of them. I don't love accountability groups. I love going live in there. I love giving information. I don't love posting every day. It's tedious to me. I'm not going to lie to you. But if we are saying that we're delivering this type of accountability and support for people, then we better show up more than what our words say, not less than what our words say. So that when these people do join us, that excitement and that momentum is going to get them results. We're going to be able to talk about how we're getting people results, and more people are going to be attracted into our community. So you have to think of all those things that feel tedious and all those things that feel hard right now, and you need to get them on paper, and you need to identify, what is my focus right now? What is the most important thing? Because whatever is the most important thing, that's the only thing you should be focusing on. My coach told me when I started, and I didn't really get it then, but I do now. She said, the most important thing, I want you to focus on the first thing first, and the second thing, not at all. And I was like, I got a list of like 50 things that I want to learn here and run with and like try to understand. And I want to do this challenge group, and I want to do a sneak peek myself for the first time. And I want to have a business webinar. And she said, but your most important thing right now is to start your journey and invite people to it and start getting results in whatever way that is for you, which I was pregnant. So that was hard, right? But whatever way that was for me was getting more positivity, more energy, more faith in the fact that my future was going to be different than it had been. And so I needed to focus on the most important thing, and the second thing, not at all, until that second thing became the most important thing. Because everything on that list is going to get done, and everything on that list is going to get tended to, but only once it's the most important thing. And that's okay. It's kind of like if company was coming over to your house and you're doing like the really quick sweep throughout the house so that everyone thinks that you're really like tidy and clean and you really pay extra attention to your house all the time. What are the things that stick out to you, right? Like, what's the most important thing that you need to do? The rest of it, you know, you can do tomorrow or whatever it is. So our focus, you guys, I want to remind you, it is Team Cup month. For those of you that don't know Team Cup, because I'm just going to say really quick, we have Deidre on. Welcome, Deidre. She's a new coach. We haven't even had a new coach call yet, but we met on Instagram, and she was so super inspired by our sneak peek we did on Instagram, and she joined us. So I'm really excited for her. She has an awesome story and very relatable. So you guys will definitely enjoy her as you get to know her. But for those of you that aren't sure what Team Cup is, it comes around once, sometimes twice a year. And what they do is they have teams of five coaches come together. And the 5 coaches that come together try to reach certain goals together, which is typically Success Club minimum. They try to reach certain goals and earn points in different ways that they say that you can earn points. And the team can earn individual prizes like t-shirts or duffel bags sometimes, or sometimes it's a really weird bobblehead that your kids like turn the head all the way around. It gets really strange. But they give you different prizes. And then they also have team prizes. So it's just a fun way to kind of level up together. Like if you were to do this at your place of work where they were like, hey, everybody, these are the normal jobs that you have to get done. And then all of a sudden they throw like a spin in it. Okay, if the 5 of you can complete all of this month, I'm going to give you a bonus, right? So it's kind of just that competitive thing. So Team Cup is this month. And then it's excitement that Team Cup brings, but it also brings around more, trying to think of the word, present. It's not the word I was thinking of, but it'll work. Limiting beliefs. Because I don't know about you, but the minute I feel challenged or the minute I feel like I need to do something and I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, first of all, I'm excited to step out of my comfort zone. And then oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough value to add to people. What would people even want to hear from me? Right? And all these beliefs, limiting beliefs start coming through. And what I want you to do is just find a way to continue to channel the excitement for what you're doing with that team. And that's by keeping it simple. So the bare minimum of what we do as coaches, this is what I want you guys to consider your default setting. Like if you have a default setting, like this is funny. This is what I thought of. If I go and buy something on Amazon, Amazon doesn't need to ask me where my address is, where they're sending it, and if I have any notes that I want for the delivery, right? Because I have a default setting there when I go there and I do it, even if I do it every single day, I'm not going to, but it's kind of often, it knows exactly what to do. Unless I have to change that default setting that day, which would be maybe I'm sending it to my parents' house or whatever. I need to edit some things. I'm still doing the same things, but some of it's going to be a little different. Okay, so that's just the example. I want your default setting to always be this, no matter what pressure you feel from Team Cup or from maybe seeing other people that started at the same time as you hit Emerald rank, hit Ruby, hit Diamond, and you're sitting there like, what am I doing wrong? Nobody's doing anything wrong. Everybody is doing is growing, and we all have different journeys that we're growing through. So we're all going to experience success at different rates. If two people enroll at the same time, they will not have the same journey. They will not hit Emerald at the same time. Maybe they will, because Emerald's not a hard one to hit. But I guarantee that one is going to struggle with different limiting beliefs getting to Diamond and beyond, and income and money, relationship with money. It's just how it is. So you have to have a default setting that is so simple that it's just what you do. You could do it with your eyes closed. And even when you're feeling stressed, it's easy to do and it doesn't feel like too much. The default setting is, you've heard me say this a million times if you've been on the team for a while, you have to get up, read a book, do a workout, drink a shake, share it on social media, invite people to join you, and follow up with the people that you've been talking to. That's the last piece. My default's probably more like 5, and that follow-up comes in like every couple days. I don't follow up every day. That's not part of my default setting, but it has to be a few days a week, the fortunes and the follow-up, right? But that is my default setting. I can do that without even thinking about if I did it at night. If I didn't even ever sit down to work my business because life was so crazy and I only had 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, I could sit down with my activity tracker and without even trying, check those things off. Because I've created a routine in them. I've created a habit in them. It's as simple as how many people drink their Shakeology after they work out. For me, I work out and I drink my shake. I don't even have to think about it. If for some reason I don't work out that day, which doesn't happen, even if like with bar, I'm still working out on the weekends, just different programs. If for some reason I don't work out, I get really confused as to when I drink my shake. Like it'll sometimes be like 6 o'clock and I'm like, whoa, where's my shake? When do I drink it? What do I do? Because that's my default setting. I've created a routine around it. It's become a habit. I don't even need to think about it, and it is there. So for me, my default setting is I try to wake up earlier than my kids. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's 15 minutes. Sometimes I wake up at the same time as them. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. But no matter what it is, I at least read a paragraph. I commit to one paragraph before my feet hit the floor, no matter what. So I'm reading, right? So I'll read every single day, my default setting before I get up. Then I get my workout in. Typically right after I drop Owen off at school. Oliver's usually pretty good with independent play at that time. I can get my workout in real quick. This is what I need to be better at. Right after I get my workout done, Oliver typically needs me. That should be the time I'm checking into my groups, logging my own stuff. But typically it's like I'm done working out and now Oliver needs me. So my logging into my own challenge group gets pushed way back. But I always, from that workout, so I am reading a book, working out, drinking a shake after my workout. I don't even have to think about it. Sharing it on social media, because I'm always sharing something after my workout, whether it's something that the trainer said that really hit me that day, right? Like that's powerful. That's value that you can add to other people. It doesn't have to be just, I did this today, or, this is how I'm feeling, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be all of that. It can be something that you're getting from the trainer, something that you heard, something that when you're checking off your calendar, how it feels to check that off the calendar, whatever it is, or just something that popped up in your personal development that day too. So you're reading, you're working out, you're drinking your shake, you're sharing it on social media. So I share it on social media right away. That's my first post of the day. So if I don't work out that day, I also have a really hard time posting. Not because my posts are always workout posts, but because that's when I make my first post typically, because the morning's chaos, right? That's my default setting. So if I don't work out, I don't know when to drink a shake or how to post. I go blank, but I figure it out. So I make a post, share it on social media. I let people know they can join me. And this is an important one I want to say, but I'm going to come back to this. I let people know they can join me. Okay. And then I'm gone. Later that day, my other default setting is at some point in the day, I'll have at least 30 minutes that I can sit down, whether it's on the couch with the kids while they're watching something or whatever. And my default setting is to then invite and follow up. This is the exact order that I do things every day. So I don't have to think about it. It's my default setting. I sit down, I go to my Instagram first, I go to my Instagram stories, and I look at all the people who are watching it. If they're people I haven't seen before and they're watching my stories, then I reach out. I'm not trying to sell them anything. I just want to know who these people are. Like Deidre, I just generally, first of all, I was really impressed by just like a lot of what she said too. So I spoke that truth. Like, it seems like you're so positive, and I feel like you would love this information or whatever it was. But most of the time I'm always saying, I'm just connecting with people first, right? Like, hey, I just saw that you watched my stories today and I wanted to connect. So right here in this default setting, in this 30 minutes, I'm going through my story watchers. I'm connecting with people that I feel like I haven't connected with before, and I just want to say hi, see if there's a connection there or not. People that have been watching for a while and maybe we've had some conversations with, if I really feel like I jive with them and I think like, man, they'd be a really good coach, or maybe they would be fun to have in my challenge group, then I send them an invite. And if it's people that I've invited before and I notice they're watching my stories again, then I follow up with them. So I'm sitting there right there looking at my Instagram stories. And in that time, I'm able to connect, invite, and follow up with a few people of each maybe, right? So I do that with my Instagram story. Then I do that with my Facebook story. Two totally different pools of people, you guys. The same people do not watch my Instagram stories and my Facebook stories. You're getting two different people. So right there, I'm getting a lot of that stuff done. And then I go to my posts for the day from earlier, way earlier that day that I posted and then I ignored. I didn't come back into Facebook every time someone liked or commented. I didn't keep checking on it because that would be wasting my time and not being intentional and maybe taking time away from my family, right? My phone went away and now it's later in the evening and I'm looking at that post and I'm looking at the people who liked it and I'm doing the same thing as the people who liked my stories. I'm either connecting with new people, thanking them for liking my post because I like support. Thanks for liking what I'm putting out there, right? Connecting or following up with maybe old challengers that I haven't talked to in a while and they start liking my stuff again, seeing how they're doing. There might be an invite right there. Oh my gosh, it's so funny that that you just liked my post because I have this free group coming up and I know you haven't been in a group for a while. Maybe you'd love to join. It's salads, squats, and soups. So it's a totally new one and I think you'd love it, right? Or invite, so I'm following up or inviting. I do that off my Facebook post and my Instagram post. If I'm intentional, if I respected my family's time that day with my phone, then in that 30 minutes when I'm working, they respect my time. And I can honestly get through my invites, my connects, and my follow-ups simply from those 4 things. And it's default. I don't even have to think about it. It's just what happens, right? So after the kids go to bed is when I look at my tracker and I see where did I kind of miss some things today, right? Maybe not every time I get the amount of invites I want to send out. Maybe not every time I get the amount of connects I want to send out. Maybe I have to do a little something different. But that's my default setting. It's clockwork to me. It's like waking up and brushing my teeth. So what I want to challenge you to do in February is just find your default setting. I don't want you to think it's Team Cup and you need to go for Success Club 20 and help 10 new people. I don't want you to think that you need to go for anything that doesn't feel authentic and bring you joy. I want you to get excited about staying on your journey so consistently that by the end of February, it's your default. And every month after that, it runs like clockwork. So many people will ask me, like in the times when I was literally in the trenches of postpartum depression, and then what I found out was that I think I had some postpartum rage also. I wasn't like Rage Against the Machine everywhere. Like I wasn't going crazy, but like my kids could just accidentally spill something and I'd be like, what are you doing? And that's not me at all. Like, and I would be like, what's going on? Why are you doing that? You know, and I'd have this postpartum rage or whatever. But even when I was in the trenches of that and Oliver was screaming and crying, I remember people being like, I just don't know how you are even showing up still, because it's hard for me to show up when I'm just busy, or it's hard for me to show up when this. And I was really trying to think of how I was able to continue to show up. And sure, it's my why. Sure, it's because this business brings me joy authentically every single day. Sure, those are the things. Sure, it's my full-time job. But at the end of the day, at the bare bones, what is it? It's my default setting. I could do that without even thinking. That's just what I do. So what is it that you do? Because your default setting is not the same as mine. But it's going to have those same things, but not in the same order. Maybe you work out at night. Maybe you work out first thing in the morning and you read your personal development at night. But what is your default setting for reading a book, working out, sharing on social media, drinking a shake, sharing on social media, and letting people know they can join you, inviting and following up with them? How can you make it so simple that it's your default setting? Because that's what we all want. I mean, doesn't that sound like it's just like feels good, right? It's like when dinner's over, what do? You automatically switch over the dishes, wipe down the stove, wipe the counters, sweep the floor up. It's your default setting. It's not painful. Does it bring you a ton of joy every time you do it? No. But when it's done, it feels good. And it's your default setting. It's what you automatically do because that's who you are and that's what you're doing. And your goal is to have a clean kitchen. Your goal is to have an awesome business, whether it's just paying back the costs that you are putting out there, or whether it's bringing you home to your kids, or whether it's allowing you to be part-time, or whether it's paying for your wedding, or whether it's getting you a vacation every year, right? No matter what it is, you just have to have a default setting and keep it so simple. Now, there are days that's my minimum. And then there are days that I blow it out of the water and I do so much and I feel like Superwoman. And then the next day I'm like, I'm not even doing my default setting today because I just totally rocked it yesterday. And that's fine. But guess what happens? At the end of the night, I end up doing what I do because I've trained myself to have it be that simple for me. Okay. So one thing I want to say about inviting really quick. You guys are all inspiring here. If you weren't inspiring, you wouldn't be a coach. If you weren't inspiring, someone wouldn't have believed in you that you could do this. If you weren't inspiring, you wouldn't have even thought outside of the box to believe in yourself. Every single one of you has what it takes to not just sell something, but to help someone get results and change someone's life. And if you're sharing everything you're doing and working hard for up here, physically, in your tracker, right? If you're sharing all of that, but at the end of your post, you're not giving a call to action and letting people know how they can join you and that you actually have something for them to join, then you are doing all the work for someone else who may be less inspiring as you, but wasn't scared to invite them. If you don't ask, someone else will. And maybe you're the person that inspired them to say yes, but you never asked and they never knew that they could join you because there was never a call to action at the end of your posts, or there was never a direct invite in Messenger because you were scared you didn't want to sound salesy, right? But you're inspiring people. Ordinary, everyday people like all of us are inspired by the effort that you put in. But if you don't tell them that you have a way for them to join you and someone else asks, they're going to join them, even if you're the reason. I can't tell you in the first few years of my business how many times I finally got around to asking the people I wanted to ask, and they either were already working with a coach or had just enrolled with a coach. I am not kidding you. Probably at least 10 to 15 times this has happened in the last few years where I've gotten better and more confident at this. And every time they said, you know what, I was watching you for so long and you were so inspiring and I just wanted to do what you did. You're the one who inspired me to do this, so thank you. And I'm like, you mother, sure, no problem. What the heck? Well, what if I would have been the one to ask, but I wasn't because I was too scared because I didn't want to be a salesperson, because I didn't want them to think I was just trying to sell them something. You are inspiring people to make changes in their lives that you felt inspired to do and you're doing. And you could never, you are all so authentic. You all care about people so much. There's no way that you could ever come across that way. But people are wondering how to join you. I mean, when I am going through Instagram and all these ads are coming up for cute shoes and like teeth whitening, if it doesn't say shop now and I want it, then how am I going to get it? But I want that. I like what they just said. I want that, but I don't even know. I guess I'll just go on Google and search for the best teeth whitening because I want that, but they didn't tell me how to get it. So I'm going to find somewhere else to get it because they inspired me to want to do that. Right? Same thing, but at a deeper level because it's our health and fitness and lifestyle, not a product, even though the products are helping, right? So with that being said, all of those things that I said, it's your default setting. It's important to track that. And tracking isn't hard. It's only hard if we say it is. And I've told myself for way too many years that it's hard. I didn't track my business for a long time, and I probably didn't get as far as I could because of that. At the end of the night, or you can use the tracker in your phone that it looks like this. I don't know if you can see it. SC. It's called the SCBAT. SCBAT. Success Club Business Activity Tracker. You could use that, or you can print it off. And if, I'm not asking you to carry that paper with you everywhere because that is annoying. I'm just asking you to sit down every night before you go to bed, have it in your nightstand, whatever it is, and just check off what you actually did. And then maybe make a commitment to, if you're missing a few things, just get one more check. It's kind of like when we used to work out on the treadmill. I don't know if any of you did this, but when I would be on a treadmill, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to run 5 miles. And then I'd get to 5 miles and it would be like, but I had 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to hit like an even number, like 40 minutes or something, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going 40 minutes. And then I get to 40 minutes and I'm like at 5 point whatever miles. I'm like, all right, I'm going for 5.5. Like you just keep kind of leveling yourself up. I just want to challenge you to have an awesome default setting and to be the person that levels yourself up. Not all the time. Sometimes it's totally fine to just not level up at all and have some wine and call it a night. I like that. At least once a week. Maybe not at least. I don't do it more than once a week, but sometimes I feel like it. But you know, you're the only person that can do that for you. And you can do that for you, because if you couldn't, you wouldn't even be here to begin with, right? So with that being said, really quick, Megan had a little quote when I was talking about, she couldn't be here tonight with us on the call. And so I was asking her and Lindsay and Alicia kind of like if there's anything else that we should kind of talk about. And Megan said this, and I just wanted to quote her because I thought it was really good. Megan said, nope, I think that they need nothing new except the confidence to look at the whole tracker and know that they've already got this. You have your tracker, you guys know everything, right? So I think they need nothing new except the confidence to look at their whole tracker and know that they've got this. They can use this team cup time to hit more boxes and enjoy the process of stretching themselves a little. And that just sounds good, right? Just stretching yourself a little bit further. Don't allow this month to feel pressure. Don't allow it, like, if you guys, I promise you that if you just find your default setting, if you just stretch a little bit, and if you just track what you're doing and level yourself up when you can, you'll be hosting the call next month. I'll hand it off to you, but you're going to do great. Can you type the quote? I want to write it down. Yes. So, well, you can kind of change it to whatever person it needs to be. So I think they need nothing new except the confidence to look at the whole tracker and know they've got this. They can use this team cup time to hit more boxes and enjoy the process of stretching themselves a little. I'm checking for typos because I was like super cool right then and I wasn't even looking at the screen. I worked really hard for that when I was younger. I thought that would be really cool if I could do that. I wanted to be like a secretary at my aunt's work because I would go to take your daughter to work day with her because my mom had a daycare and I did not want to stay home at my mom's daycare. But anyway, so I felt like I needed to be like a really good typer. So with that being said, I have a few more things I want to go over right now, but I just want to like connect with all of you, see if anybody has anything that, any questions, any statements. Does this feel good? Like anything on what we've talked about that I can answer or that you just want to get off your chest. No? Okay. All right, cool. So the next part is, here we go. Helps tons. Good. When you connect with new followers, how long before you invite them? That's kind of like if you were to have a barbecue at your house and there were new neighbors and you connected with your new neighbors, how many times do you have to connect with your new neighbors to invite them to your barbecue? Right? There's really, I mean, it's either like you're going to like them eventually or you're going to be like, those weirdos are not coming to our house, right? Or it might take you a while to like them or get to know them. So for me, I honestly, I don't have a system for that. Follow-ups, I follow up with people every 2 days. And then if after 2 times of following up 2 days later, they don't answer, then I go for a week. And if it's after a week, I do a month. And after the month, if they're still like whatever, then I'm like, all right, see you later, until they start watching my stories or something ignites again. But for the most part with that, sometimes I feel so, and I might have even did this to Deidre. I think that with Deidre, I connected with her, but I felt like this connection with her and loved how open she was and what she put out there right away, that I invited her pretty quick because I felt like I could. And because I felt like she, you know, I felt that about her. So it really depends on the situation. Some people I invite right away, like, holy cow, I'm looking at your page and it doesn't look like you're a coach. And I don't want to be a creep, but I just feel like, oh my gosh, you have so much inspiration inside of you. Are you a coach? Am I missing something? Do you like, I would love to share something with you. You know, so I just speak what I'm thinking. Like, so for me, it might be the same day. Some days I feel not very confident in myself and I don't invite anybody. I have those days too, 6.5 years in. And then other days I'm like, I'm inviting anybody today because I'm feeling super ballsy and I'm just doing it. And then, but most of the time it's, I look at their profile, I look at how they're responding to me, and that helps me decide when to. If at any point you're thinking, I think I should invite them soon, but I'm not sure when, right then is the time. Right then is the time, right? If you're like, okay, we've talked back and forth, and it doesn't have to be I heard this question the other day from a new coach too. There's no special segue into inviting somebody. If you're talking to your friend and you guys are walking the track at school on your lunch, I just thought of that because that's what my mom does on her lunch at school. If you guys are walking the track and all of a sudden it just pops in her head and she might be, oh, I forgot to tell you, my son, we're having his baby shower next weekend. It's going to be at the train depot. It's at 1:00. We would love for you to come. I can't believe I almost forgot to ask. I'd love to have you there. Are you guys busy? She doesn't need a segue into that. It can be natural. It can pop up. And that's exactly how it can be for you when you're talking to other people. The more authentic and natural you are about it, the better it's going to go. And I always I'm a little, so, you know, I'm not like super woo-woo at all, but I'm definitely like a hippie and a little woo-woo and just spiritual and whatever. But like for me, however you decide that conversation is going to go and however you decide that person is going to perceive you is how you're going to come across and what's going to happen. So keep your cool. Keep your cool. Be confident. Talk how you want them to perceive you, and it's going to go good. And if it doesn't, then they're not your people, right? That was a really good question though, because I know a lot of times we kind of want to know for sure, like, this is okay to do now or that, or not. I would say if you're going through, so here's one thing that we haven't maybe talked about. So this is good. When I first started, my coach told me to form people. How many of you have heard of form? Okay, so I don't really follow this anymore because I just follow how I feel like talking. But in the beginning, when I was getting used to it, it was to start a conversation, to feel authentic in it, to listen to another person as much as you are talking as well. You're going to follow the acronym FORM, which is ask about their family, talk about family. They're going to ask about your family back. Lead that into occupation. Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I do this. What do you do? Oh, that's awesome. You know what? I was a hairstylist for 14 years. And then I started actually virtually coaching health and fitness when I was pregnant and brought me home. So I do that full time now. I get to be with my kids and it drives me a little bit crazy and wonderful as well. Like that's how I would say something, right? Because I'm just being honest. I'm just being me. Oh, okay. So there's the form. FOR, recreation. What do you guys like to do for fun? Right? Is there anything, and it doesn't have to be creepy, like, what do you guys like to do for fun? And they're like, why are you asking what we like to do for fun? That's weird. But maybe it's like, oh, you have kids my similar age. Do you guys know of like any cool cafe places around where you live that you like to go to? I'm looking for new things to do with my kids. Or my husband and I are trying to go on more date nights, but it's so hard to find babysitters because all of our family lives far away. So do you guys have like, this might seem like a weird question, but do you guys have any like good ideas? Have you ever did one of those date boxes? Like, I guess you can order date boxes now and a date in a box comes to your house and it's like, might be a game or like bake something. Have you ever done one of those? That's how that conversation could go, right? So family, occupation, recreation. And at the end of that, you're either going to close the message because you know at this point that they're one-wording you, they're not interested, you're not interested in them. If you wouldn't want to go to coffee with this person, you're not going to want to coach them, right? So they're either cool or they're not. And at that point, M is your message. So, hey, you know what? I have to run. It's okay to end conversations. We don't want to be like awkward and just keep them going in the hope that they're going to like ask us something, right? You have to control that conversation. So you know what? I've loved talking to you. Thank you so much. I have to run, but I want to let you know, I have no clue if you saw a post that I made. This is why your posts with call to actions and stories with call to actions are so important. It makes the invite very easy. You can refer to them. I don't know if you saw the post I made earlier, but I was talking about this virtual wellness group I'm actually running, and just the way that you and I were able to kind of have a conversation, I just think that we would have a lot of fun in that group together. Do you have any interest in hearing what it's about? Let me know. I'll be back in my inbox later, so I'll check in on you. You're out. They can come back and answer with whatever they want to answer with, right? So that would be a good one, Stacy. I think it was Stacy that asked that question. Yes. So if you're like, I just kind of, for me, the way my brain works, I kind of need like a number, like help me know when to invite. I'd follow form until it's more natural for you. Talk about family, talk about occupation, talk about recreation, and then you're going to close the message because you got to run. You got to go do something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I always just have to go. I'm busy. And you're going to send that invite. You're going to have posts up telling people about what's going on. So it's going to be really easy to refer to. And then you'll pop back in later when you've scheduled time to go into your inbox. So you're not just popping in your inbox all day long, right? You've scheduled a time every either morning or night where for 10 minutes at a time, you're in your inbox answering messages, not throughout the day. So you're able to pop in and answer your messages. You know that you're not leaving them hanging. And there you go. Did that help? Yes. Yes, absolutely. And you'll find your people. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to be very forward and like just tell you right now, the challengers that start with you now are not going to be the challengers that are with you forever. Just because they start, they're going to get you to that first goal, but they're not going to be your lifers necessarily. Maybe one of them will. And like for me, for your business, the coaches that get you to Emerald are not the coaches that are going to get you to Diamond. And the coaches that get you to Diamond are not the coaches that are going to bring you a 6-figure income. The best thing that you can ever do for your customers and the best thing that you can ever do for your team is continue growing. And as you grow, the level of growth that you're at, like you will never recruit a customer and you will never recruit a coach that is further than you are. I'm going to repeat that. You will never recruit a customer and you will never recruit a coach that is further in their journey or more spiritual or more set in their mindset or whatever than you are. So you have to continue growing here and growing on your journey, and you're going to continuously start finding more of your people. The more authentic you become, the more you become, the more confident you come, the more you start posting a little bit differently because of the work that you're doing. You're going to go through a whole lot of wrong people that are not your people, and it's painful sometimes. I've had some pretty painful customer and coach experiences, not like it was bad, but it was hard because they weren't my people, but they were my people. I somehow enrolled them. There was some sort of connection, but as I grew and continued to grow, there was just something that wasn't connecting anymore. And those people weren't the people that got me to the next level, right? So you're going to find your people, but don't be afraid to find the wrong people along the way, because they're going to help give you experience and confidence and testimonies and leadership, and they're going to help you level yourself up to continuously bring in that next level of people. There's so many coaches that get to like diamond or something, and I hear them be like, I'm just having a hard time finding new coaches. Like I'm looking for my builders and I'm just not finding my builders. And my question, maybe I should ask outwardly, but I don't really all the time, that I'm asking inside my head is like, well, are you not finding those builders because you're not portraying yourself as one, or you're not growing yourself as one? Because you're only going to recruit the customers and the coaches to the level of what you're doing and where you're at, right? So you're going to find the wrong ones along the way. They all serve their purpose in some way, shape, or form. Learn with them, grow with them. If they're not for you, they fall away, and just continue to rise up. So really quickly then, I just wanted to talk a little bit about making sure that, so we are in that Ignite. A lot of you are in the Ignite Your Business Bootcamp. Some of you are not. That invite your business or ignite your I can't say it. Ignite Your Business. That Ignite Your Business Bootcamp we are in the final week right now. I just did a video in there today, and I'll do another video at the end. And so we want to see if you guys had a checklist of all the videos in the Beachbody Champion. Each week you had a certain amount that you were going to watch, or you could complete it all at once. So make sure that you post that checklist under the video so that we can kind of see where you're at with that. And then we are going to create a form and post it, and I'll let you know when we do that, to ask for your feedback, because I know that we've asked for you guys to do a lot at night. And in the beginning, it was probably okay. And now that you have conversations going and invites and this and that, you're like, I don't want to screenshot my freaking post and go post it in there. And I don't want to tell you this, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do all these check-ins. This is way too much for me. I feel the same way. It's a lot. And I don't even do it every night. But I try to do it 4 or 5 nights out of the week, because it holds me accountable. And then everyone can see that I'm doing it. And that's really what we need from you. So you don't need to do it every night. And if you only post your post one night, like, that's fine. It's more of a just accountability. But trust me, like, it's tedious for us too. And we're trying to figure out what works best for you guys. We definitely don't want to make more work for you. If that takes 10 minutes for you to do that, and you could be inviting or reading or something, we don't want to do that. So we're going to be putting out a form for you guys to fill out to give us feedback based on how you feel those check-ins went, and kind of what you felt you could get more of in this group, and maybe what you felt like was a little much or whatever. So be ready for that. But so we have another week of that. So you'll be focusing there. If you guys are in the Team Cup battle group, we also have check-ins going there right now. I want you to ignore that group. If you are in the Ignite Your Business Bootcamp and you're on Team Cup, I want you to ignore the Team Cup battle group. And I want you to only focus on finishing what you started with Ignite Your Bootcamp, because it's over in a week. And then you can pop in fully to that Team Cup battle group, because that Team Cup battle group is just accountability for the Team Cup groups. There'll be little things going on. Your team can keep you posted if it's a certain challenge or something, and it'll be fine. I don't want you to spend 20 minutes a night checking in to your challenge group, checking your own stuff in. You know what I'm saying? So focus on that, finishing that Ignite Your Business in full. My biggest tip for you, kind of getting ready to close out here, is to become the person that might feel like this might feel like it's going to bring you anxiety, but to become the person that is more organized than you've ever been. You have that default, right? and you're more organized than ever. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you told me 5 years ago to schedule every hour of my day and to know when I was working the business, what I was doing in those times, when I was cleaning my house, when I was spending time with my kids, I would have been like, whoa, this is a lot of anxiety. I can't do this. Nope, that's not how I work. And I did do that. I kind of fought that for a while. I want to tell you that if you can just take 10 minutes once a week to really give everything a place, it clears all of the stress that you could have. So every day this week, I need to make at least one post. I have this coming up. Therefore, on Monday, I should make a post about this. On Tuesday, I should make a post about this. On Wednesday, and you don't need to have the picture and the words written, but if you know kind of what you should have each day and it's in your planner or it's in the note section of your phone or whatever, then those days come and it becomes part of like your default, right? It slips in a lot easier than, oh my gosh, I have a post and I need to make a post today and I don't even know what to make a post about because I'm not even clear and I can't take a second to do it because I have kids coming at me saying, Mommy, hi. Oh, here, say hi. No. I'm going to just aim this up a little bit. Yeah, I know. So who are you pointing at? Who? Let me see. Who are you pointing at? Annie? Annie's name? Yeah. So what you want to do is just get really clear and know like what type of post you're making that day so that when you're going throughout your day, you know you're making a post on this, something can pop out and it's really easy for you to do. The other thing is I want you to, here, come here. This is my newborn that can talk. It's really awkward. It's fine. You're right. Okay. So then I want you to also get used to scheduling the times of what you're doing and when. So I just told you my default setting. It's very clear when I do things, right? I aim to do my personal development at 7:30, unless I decide I'm getting up earlier, which always is funny. It's a funny decision for me. But at 7:30, I'm doing my personal development. I know at 9:30, I'm working out. I know at 9:45, well, typically now I'm fasting more. So around 11 or 12, depending on the day, I'm having my shake. I know that I'm making my post after my workout. So I know the time frame that's happening. I know that after that, I'm 100% mom until nap time, or if he's skipping nap that day, quiet time for him. Then I know when he takes a nap, I'm either doing a live in a group that I maybe want to go live in. I'm checking my inbox, checking in on my coaches and customers that I just enrolled, making sure everybody's good. And then if I feel inspired to, I'll make another post. If not, maybe I start my action hour there of my looking at my stories and starting that. But if I feel like I don't have enough time, then I'll do some of it later. But I will look at the day ahead of time and know this is when I should do that, right? So if you don't give it a time, I tell my husband this all the time. I told him he's a lot better with it now, kind of, but he's a doer. If he sees 50 things that need to get done and he has 10 hours, he's going to see how many of those 50 things he can get done in 10 hours because he sees all those things that need to get done without thinking that there's 2 hours tomorrow and there's an hour the next day and maybe there's 5 hours the next day. It's just how much can I just power through and keep doing, right? But if you can take all those things that you want to do and give them a place and a time, then when your phone goes off or when you know that there's a message or you know that this is happening, you don't have to rush to it because you know, like, oh my gosh, she just messaged me back because my notification came up, which I should stop my notification. But that I don't need to jump in my inbox right now and let it like feel like it's taking away from my family or let it feel like it's pulling me into my phone because I am not in my inbox right now, but I will answer her in 2 hours because that's when I've told myself for 20 minutes I was in my inbox. You give it a time, it gives you the freedom to not feel like you're pulled to do everything right then when you think you need to do it. So for me, I do that with the kids too. Like everything in my planner is scheduled. Is it flexible? Heck yes, it's flexible. Does it go the same way that it's supposed to every single day? No, it never goes the way I have it written down. But I have a place and a time for everything. And if it doesn't work, I just move it to the next open block that I know it would work. And I don't have to stress about it. Does that make sense? So that it's kind of like budgeting your money. You're budgeting your time. So I want you to just really start working on that default setting. What does that look like for you? I can't believe my husband is popping popcorn on the stove right now.
1 minute.
This is his default setting. What can I do while Lindsay's on the call? Good job.
Thank you. Thanks.
Way to go. So figure out your default setting. Know what post you're doing every day. What's your focus for the day for your post so that you know when are you making that post, and then make sure that you know the times that you're working and what you're doing in those times. So if you only have 10 minutes to do something at the end of the night because you had a crazy weekend full of games or this or that, you have 10 minutes. Well, what's the most important thing that you should probably do in that 10 minutes? If you did a ton of inviting and like connecting the day before, it's probably just 10 minutes on your inbox. Right? So all day you don't have to worry about that because you said, okay, this is what I'm going to focus on tonight. It's all I have time for. That's the most important thing. That's what I'm going to do. So I probably went off on a tangent there. It's fine. Basically, you have your default setting and you're just getting more intentional and setting yourself up for success. It's kind of like following our calendar and our nutrition plans. They're most successful because they tell us what to do, when to do it to get the best results. It's clear. It's cut. There's no questions. This is what you do. So you just want to set yourself up for that too. At the end of the day, it's going to get overwhelming some days. And you have to just remember that your focus is, did I grow my mind today? Did I grow in my transformation physically today?
Popcorn.
Yeah, he made popcorn. Did I grow in my
Popcorn.
Did I grow physically in my transformation today? Did I grow mentally today?
Here, Albert. Want some?
And what did I learn or what am I working on that I can put out there? The focus is you. People are going to join you not because you're a Beachbody coach. People are going to join you not because you have Shakeology. People are going to join you not because you have Energize and Recover. They're going to join you because of your journey, because they relate to the struggles you have. They relate to the family you have. They relate to the sense of humor that you have. They relate to the fact that you're trying your best, even when it's hard in whatever that looks like, and that you're showing up and that you are not giving up on you. Like never once have I had anybody say, I want to join you because I know that you're not going to give up on me, because they don't see my relationship and my coaching. They don't see that. What they see is that I'm not giving up on myself. Right? They can see that no matter what, I'm showing up the best I can. So remember, at the end of the day, the focus is on you, and you just have to share it and find that default setting. How many of you are on Team Cup? I have one last reminder before I ask for questions. Okay, so Team Cup, you guys should be checking your inbox. If you haven't got it yet, you will be getting them soon. You have 3 promo codes that are coming to you from corporate. You probably already know this, but just in case you don't, I'm letting you know. They are $10 off of a completion pack or a challenge pack that's of $140 or more. $10 off. With challenge packs right now, while supplies last, people are also getting a free box of pumpkin spice as of like yesterday, which is kind of crazy. And then however many codes you use between now and the 13th, on the 14th, they will give you more. So if you use all 3 on the 14th, you get 3 more codes. If you use 1 on the 14th, you get 1 more code, which is cool because people love that. People want to save money, right? So with that being said, I feel like, there was 2 other things I wanted to say, but I'm going to go ahead and it's more of the online office stuff that I just wanted to say about preferred placement and where to put your, sign up for direct deposit, but we'll get to that in a second for those that want to stick around and hear that. Did anybody, I found you 5 years later and you were still doing it. Yes, Alicia?
Got it.
I was still doing it with all the babies, and you found me 5 years later through your husband's account. I love that story. So any questions? Any like words of wisdom? Any aha moments? Anything you feel compelled to share? type it in the chat, raise your hand. I can unmute you.
How was it? Good?
Was this good? I felt really good delivering it, so I feel like it landed well. You know, like sometimes you might like try to have a conversation with your kids or your spouse or your friends or your parents, and you're like, well, that just didn't even feel like it landed well, so that probably, and this felt good. Felt like it landed well. Thanks, Angela.
I got it.
Thanks, Bree. I think you just coming to the table with this great hair tonight was enough for me. I love it. I haven't seen it so straight and like the darker. I love it. Okay, awesome. So for those of you that want to stick around really quick, I was just going to share my screen and pop in the online office for the newer coaches to talk about preferred placement and to show where to put their information. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick picture, and then for those of you that don't want to stick around, you can pop off. For those of you that want to stay on, you can. So if anybody is not being seen in their screen, there's Annie. Oh, nope, that was weird. Annie's name was over there, and then Stacy popped up, and I was like, there's Annie. Well, she's blonde, but that's not Annie. There's Alicia in her robe. Alicia, I bought robes for everybody. Today, Owen and Oliver and Rob, they all have robes now.
I love it.
Yes. So there's Annie. Yay, and Felicia. Okay. All right, ready? Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, awesome. So I will share that in the team page, and then you guys can use it for social media or stories or whatever you like to use it for. For those of you that want to stick around, I'm going to pop in the online office right now. For those of you not sticking around, thanks for listening, and have a good night. All right, I am going to open up this really quick. And I think a few of you are sticking on. I know Deidre is. It looks like Nicole. Are you going to stick on for a minute to check it out? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. That's not what I wanted to share. Nope, that's not it at all. Let's see. This is what I wanted to share. Let me see if it works here. Stop share. There we go. Can you guys see the Team Beachbody? Okay. All right. So you're logging in at teambeachbody.com. It will have you log in twice to get in, because when you log in once, you're now in as a customer. So customers can log in here and look at their stuff and whatever. This is like, so to go to the coach office, you go here to coach office. When you guys are sharing a share cart with people, which is a link that you will send to people, you will go to your share cart right here. You'll need the person's email address and then their name and their first and last name, and then you can put in the cart exactly what it is they want. I never actually do it from the computer though. I just went to teambeachbody.com on my phone and I clicked on share a cart here. And then when you're on a web address, you can actually click the little like square with the arrow on your phone and make it add to home screen. And when you click add to home screen, then it shows up on your page or on your phone as an app, and it says share cart. So just so you guys know, just a little quick one there. So you'll want to click on Coach Office. So you log in once, you click on Coach Office, it'll ask you to log in again. And then so just a quick overview of the office. It tells you your coach ID right here. You'll need that often, so start trying to memorize it. It'll tell you if you're active. It'll tell you your current rank, the rank that you've been before, so the highest that I've been at, where I'm actually at now, and then it'll tell you your Success Club points over here. When you have Success Club points, you're able to actually click on Success Club right there. So I wonder if I should go So if I was looking at the month before, then it would give me a drop down of, I had 13 points. So it would tell me where those points came from, like who they came from there. So the main thing when you come to your dashboard here is the first things you want to do is you want to, so your training is here, just so all the newer coaches know. And for the coaches that have been coaches for a while too, and new coaches, all the training here, the Success Club system, they're all updated trainings and they're really, really good. And it's one that I think every coach should go through. So I just wanted to point that out because they just uploaded or updated those. So you'll want to go to Monitor My Business, this little tab up here. And then you will go to, under compensation, you'll go to my EFT management. That is so that you get direct deposit. We get paid on Thursdays, so Wednesday nights are when you want the week ends. If you don't get direct deposit, you'll get a check 2 weeks after the week. If you get direct deposit, you get paid 1 week after the week, if that makes sense. So you can always tell what you're going to be earning by going to the earning sections here. And it will break down kind of what you are earning for the week. So it'll show you what you're getting the following week. So that's Monitor My Business, my EFT, that will give you your direct deposit. Then for preferred placement, every coach, if you haven't set your preferred placement yet, you'll want to do so. You'll go to preferred placement. And you want to make sure that here you click set preferred placement. You don't want it to be automatic. And the reason is because for you to hit and maximize the comp plan, which should be important to everyone to make the most for what you're doing, right? Money is not a weird thing. It's okay. Then what you're going to want to do is I'm going to help you or your coach, but I'm going to help you strategically place for volume and rank. We might switch back and forth. It'll make more sense later, but we are going to set it. If it's on automatic, then it's just going to place back and forth, and it's not going to be in your compensation benefit necessarily. Like the computer just places them. So you want to click set preferred placement, make sure that's your coach ID, and then you're going to click either right or left. We are never going to click weak leg first available. We are never going to click weak outside leg. We are always going to click right or left. So just to explain a little bit about what that is. If I go to Monitor My Business and Sponsorship Drill Down, this is my downline. It is going to show my personally sponsored coaches. So personally sponsored coaches are the coaches who have enrolled directly underneath me as their sponsoring coach. So if I go to Sponsorship Drill Down, then everyone lands on either a right or a left leg. So in this business, there is a right leg and there is a left leg. So you can see all of these people land on my left leg. That means that their left leg is typically their stronger leg. And I'm going to explain this in a minute. So this is my second business center. You can open a second business center once you hit 2-star. So my second business center's strong leg is the left leg, because my first business center places volume underneath that leg. So this is an example. It gets confusing. You may need to hear this 50 times before it makes sense, or you might get it today if you're just really, really cool. I was not that cool. Let me grab another pen here. Okay. So this is you here. You have a right leg and a left leg. What happens is you place a coach here and you place a coach here. You have an upline. So my leg, if this is my second business center and it's on the left leg, I don't know what way this is looking at for you guys, so just forgive me if the right and left aren't correct. If it's on the left leg, then that means that this line is continuously going down. So here's my first business center. I placed my second business center on my left leg, which means my left leg is my strong leg. So when people are enrolling as coaches and people are making purchases, and so I'm enrolling a coach and I put one on my right leg and I put one on my left leg, and I continue to do that, what happens is on this left leg, the only person creating any sort of volume, any sort of activity on this leg is me. I'm the only person that can place, because you can only place in that straight line. I'm the only person, because this is my center, that can place here. So maybe I enroll Nicole and Deidre and Bree, because I'm just seeing you guys right here, and Jessica. So they're here, and anybody they enroll can go on this leg, but they also have another leg, whatever, that'll be later. Anybody here. So all the volume they create is going to accumulate, if that's the word I want, and I'm going to get paid off that volume. It's going to be measured compared to the volume over here. The difference with the volume over here is that this is my strong leg. My first business center placed me here. So this is my strong leg, meaning that I might place Rob, Owen, and Oliver over here. But in the meantime, my first business center also placed 3 other coaches on this leg. This leg continuously goes down, and anybody that enrolls on this leg above me or below me, I benefit from their volume. So it's not just my coaches like on this leg. So this leg, I'm getting volume from who I place, what we're selling, what we are doing, and then I'm also getting everything from what my first business center and anybody I place after that is doing on this leg. So this leg is going to get typically about twice as much volume without even trying, even if I don't add to it, because I'm getting it from all of these other coaches that are in this line, where this line is a brand new line I'm creating. Okay, so with that being said, why did I even start talking about that? I was going somewhere with this. So, the preferred placement. So your preferred placement, the whole thing is that you just want to set it for either left or right to begin with, okay? Doesn't really matter. Once you get one coach on each side, which is your goal to hit emerald rank, that's when you can start cycling from the volume under here. And if you saw when we were looking at my earnings earlier, which I think was, I don't even know what the week was. It was maybe like 14 or 15, like 1,200 of it was team cycle bonus. The rest of it was commission and matching bonus. Team cycle bonus is everything I just told you here. It's the volume of one leg and the volume of another. So what they'll do is whatever leg has more points, they'll take 200 points, they'll take 100 points. Then they'll say, okay, how many times can we do this until we can't do it again? However many cycles that is, they times it by, if you're emerald rank, you get $14 per cycle. If you're ruby, you get $16. If you're diamond and above, you get $18 per cycle. So the reason that I'm saying just set it right or left is because in the beginning, you're going to set one right. After you set that first coach, you're going to go in your preferred placement and set it left. Once you hit emerald rank, you and I are going to continuously watch your volume so that we know when the next coach comes in where to strategically place them for you to maximize more cycles to earn more. Does that kind of make sense? You're going to learn more, and it's kind of like, it's hard. It took Amanda and I both a while to really understand it. Once you start earning it, you're like, oh, I get it. That makes more sense. So let me, so basically at the end of the day, right now, what's most important to know is that you want to set your preferred placement to either right or left. It doesn't matter. And then you want to do your EFT management so you get direct deposit. So if I look at my team volume, just to kind of show you the whole volume thing. So I get 25% commission. Volume, so this is my weak leg volume, or my strong leg volume. This is my weak leg volume. So when I get paid on Thursday, this is going to keep accumulating until Wednesday night at 11:59 Eastern time is when they switch to the next week. They're going to see, okay, how many times can we take 200 from the larger side, 100 from the weaker side? However many times we can do that, we're giving her $18 per cycle. Whatever is left rolls over into a rollover account that you can earn from later. We'll talk about that down the road. But the main thing to know is that they will take 200 from one side, 100 from the other. How many cycles? They don't. So if you were to do that here, what they do though is like if one leg starts getting more than the other, then they switch. Okay, so now let's say that they do that so far down that all of a sudden this leg has 1,000 and this leg has 500 left. I don't know if that would even happen because whatever, I'm not that good with this. But my point is that if all of a sudden the right leg is higher than the left, then they switch and they're taking 200, 100, 200, 100. And if this leg goes higher than again, then they switch and they go 200. So that you'll maximize as much as you can from the volume, but they keep doing that. There's some that's left over and it goes into a place that we'll talk about down the road when that's important. But that's kind of the volume. So that's what your right leg and your left leg means. And where you're placed in your coach's organization just means that if you are on my right leg or left leg, and I can kind of tell you guys that if you're not sure, which you're probably not, then one leg is going to get a lot more volume. The other is going to be volume just created by you. And you and I are strategically going to watch your volume to place coaches strategically to help you get paid more. So you just want to pick right or left. Once that's done, you set it. You have to go in manually, click the other side and save so that when your next coach enrolls, it goes there. So we are manually placing. If for some reason you don't get to place them before they enroll and all of a sudden you have 2 coaches on your left, you have 5 days to fill out a form that is in the forms and documents to move them to the other side. So you have 5 days to change that. Any other questions on in the online office right now, or does that help?
I have a quick one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, so I signed up my coach yesterday, and it automatically put Katie's in my left, Kayleen's in my right. So I don't have to do anything. They automatically put one in each.
Okay, and you had it set to automatic?
Yeah.
So that's good. The reason that it wouldn't be good later is because remember those other 2, that's actually awesome that happened. So I'm going to show you real quick. Remember how there was another option to, there was another option to do weak leg first available, weak outside leg. So
Yeah.
what happens is that it will sometimes put people on, I don't know how to say this without it getting confusing. It could be your right leg and a left leg. When they start talking about the weak outside and the weak or whatever, different things, there's different ways to place them where it almost places them on an inside leg. And an inside leg would be like it came on this leg, but then it went on this leg because it's really confusing and I don't want to even go further into that. But it can be placed in a place that it's not going to benefit them because this person is never going to get volume from above them because they don't have a line anywhere. So you always want to choose right or left so that nobody gets placed on an inside, whatever the heck they call it. I don't even know why they have it. So whatever, weak leg first available, weak outside leg automatic, which the weak outside leg might not be a bad option. They used to not have that one, but I would still just strategically place left or right because sometimes you may, like for me, once I hit diamond, I knew that I needed to make a lot of money to retire from my job. And so I stacked like the next 8 coaches on my weak leg because I had such a high volume on my right and not on my left that I personally like enrolled like 8 to 10 coaches and discount coaches, and I placed them all on one leg because then that volume went up and I started cycling more and getting paid more. Where if you have it set automatically and you have so much volume over here, it might not benefit you in the income way. Yeah, maybe it's going, do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But I'm glad that worked out that way. All right. Oliver's coming up, so I have just a couple more minutes getting ready for bedtime. But I just want to tell you guys all where you are, just so that you know. I think you're in my second business center. I'm wrapping up here in 30 seconds. So Jessica, your leg is the left leg. And yes, you have a right and a left. So that means on Thursday, you're going to be Emerald. Yay! So yes, just like we get paid on Thursday mornings, rank advancements happen Thursday mornings. So, so Jessica, your strong leg is your left leg. So if you looked at your volume, you'd probably see that you have more volume on your left than your right. If you go in your office and look at the volume like I was showing you guys. And then let's see, Nicole and Deidre, I think I placed you in my first business center. So yes, Nicole's not even on anymore. I don't think, but her strong leg is on the right side. And then Deidre, where did you go? You know what? We might need to check and make sure that it landed, because remember how you signed up for the free account first? It probably placed you automatically with a coach. Oh,
I saw it on
there you are. So
Yeah.
your strong leg is your right leg. Just to know. I was like, where is she? Okay. Perfect. Awesome. So does that help? Oh, Nicole, you are still on. Are you working out? I can't hear you. You're muted. There you go.
Sorry, am I there?
Yeah.
Oh, Savannah took my phone and wanted chocolate, some milk, small milk.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I
Good,
heard
good.
it. You said it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Did you guys have any other questions? No? Okay, cool. So I'm going to stop the